edition of In the Loop, we're taking a look at how the new Consumer Duty links with the existing Senior Managers and Certification regime. As we've touched on before, the FCA feel that the new duty will require a significant shift in both culture and behaviour. Where you already have a strong culture of treating customers fairly and product governance, this shift is likely to be less significant, but that said, you will still have some work to do in order to comply with the duty. We're well aware of the expectations placed on us by the SMNCR. That is, that you have a strong culture within the firm that's led by your top team, and that there's increased accountability for all staff involved in the distribution of insurance. Delivering good customer outcomes should be at the heart of your strategy and business objectives. To ensure this is the case, the new duty is amending the existing rules and requirements placed on your board. One of the new requirements is that you have an annual assessment of your monitoring activities and actions required, and that this assessment is signed off by your board or equivalent management body. The assessment should include 4 key areas: the results of your monitoring that you've undertaken to assess whether your products and services are delivering the expected outcomes in line with the duty, any evidence of poor outcomes, including whether any group of customers is receiving worse outcomes compared to another group, and an evaluation of the impact and root cause, an overview of the actions you have taken to address any risks or issues identified, and how your future business strategy is consistent with acting to deliver good outcomes under the duty. Your board should agree the actions required to address any identified risks and actions required to address poor outcomes experienced by customers before signing off this assessment. In addition, they will need to agree whether any changes to your future business strategy are required. Now, these annual assessments are important, as you may be requested by the FCA to provide the report and the MI that sits behind it in order to evidence that you are complying with the duty. We've spoken of the need to ensure that you are embedding a culture within the business where delivering good customer outcomes is central. Some of the ways you can achieve this will be through effective people management practices, including auditing, performance management, and pay and bonuses. Your systems and controls should allow you appropriate oversight of customer outcomes, in particular customer risk, so you may need to revise your existing audit procedures to specifically review customer risk. The duty applies across the product life cycle, including design, distribution, and delivery of your products and services. Each senior manager must take responsibility for the role they play in complying with the duty. You must ensure that the statement of responsibility is suitably updated for all senior managers, noting their individual areas of responsibility in respect of the new duty. You're also going to need to appoint a Consumer Duty Champion. This is someone who will sit at board level, and together with the CEO and/or chair, it is their job to ensure that the duty is discussed regularly and covered in every board meeting. The FCA has set out a number of questions to help in this area, and they expect these questions to be asked of the board on a regular basis. Keep in mind that the FCA may ask these questions of you directly too. The questions refer to culture and governance and customer outcomes, and a full list is provided in the PDF version of this edition of In the Loop and can be found in the finalised guidance document issued by the FCA, FG 22-5. The need to deliver good customer outcomes extends to your staff. The SMNCR currently sets out 5 individual conduct rules, and these apply to all staff involved in the distribution of insurance. These are the minimum standards of behaviour set out by the FCA. The new duty creates a 6th individual conduct rule, and this requires all staff to act to deliver good outcomes for retail customers. This individual conduct rule applies to the extent that it is reasonable and proportionate. The scope of a person's job and their seniority may affect the scope of their obligations under this rule. So the more senior a person is, and the more relevant their role is to the duty, the higher the FCA's expectation is on them for delivering good outcomes for customers. And remember, where we say retail customers, We are also referring to commercial customers, with the exception of large, complex commercial risks and contracts of reinsurance. We hope you found this edition of In the Loop to be helpful, but as always, we recommend that you read the consultation paper, policy statement, and finalised guidance issued by the FCA. Links to them are in the PDF copy of this In the Loop and can also be found on the FCA's website. If you have any problems or questions, please do not hesitate to contact us.